Welcome to Game Smarter. Hello, my name is Kyron Mountain, and this is going to be a quick little video I've been wanting to make about the Super Nintendo Classic Edition. Now, today Nintendo released this video. They also released a Japanese version, and I'm pretty sure a UK version because all three consoles are technically different. They've got, Super Famicom, the Super NES. Over in Europe is the PAL console, and then here in North America, we've gotten the in my opinion, the good one. I know a lot of Europeans and a lot of people disagree with me, and they think that the PAL version is the better looking console. I absolutely love the purple buttons. The purple buttons are what are my thing. Not just because they're purple, though, but because the top two are concave. So you can feel the difference in the buttons you're pressing, and you know which buttons you're pressing that's different. But that's completely out from left field. I wanted to run through this video and give you a couple things that I picked up, a couple thoughts that I had, and hopefully they're going to help you be a better gamer. And hopefully today you picked up your pre-order for the SNES Classic, because I know they went out. I ended up running over to EB Games because I couldn't get one online anywhere. And, well, I didn't run over. My wonderful wife ran over and was able to get one for me. But without further ado, let's jump into this video real quick here, and I'm going to be pausing it as we go, so hopefully you've either seen it before or whatever. So, video game box. Who doesn't have one of these? This is so retro. This is the 90s, right? Like, this looks like... Pause. Right there. See that controller, that cartridge? It missed. Do you know what cartridge that was? That was Chrono Trigger. See, it fell off. Chrono Trigger fell off. No, wait. Gridlock. Did you hear that? Gridlock. That is totally from Star Fox 1. I'm sure we'll probably have it in Star Fox 2 as well. Super excited. Look at that thing. It's beautiful. The only thing they had to change is that little front panel pops off so you can plug your controllers in. I love that it switches up. I love it.
Time to play
love it.
Loud. With over 20 awesome games.
20 awesome games. Now, these are games that are straight from my childhood. I know I was a Game Boy kid. Speaking of Game Boy kid, I want to back it up for a sec here. We're going to back it up a little bit further. Now, correct me in the comments here if I'm wrong here, but if I remember correctly, the Play It Loud series was for the colored Game Boys. The original game, the big brick of a Game Boy, when they came out in like black, green, I think there was like the puke yellow, baby poop yellow, that's what it was. I don't think the Play It Loud series or the Play It Loud branding was actually connected to the Nintendo, Super Nintendo even. I thought it was a Game Boy thing, but I could be wrong.
With over 20 awesome games.
Now, because I was, like I said, I was a Game Boy kid, I never played all these. I mean, I played Street Fighter, I had F-Zero, didn't play this one. Earthbound was never a thing for me because I didn't like reading. Mega Man played it. I didn't end up playing some of these games until they ended up coming out on the Game Boy Advance. So I'm super excited to try these out. Now, this is the best part. This is absolutely the best part of this console, and I think this completely kills the argument that people had with the NES Classic where, why not just build a RetroPie? You can get all those games. You can get Super Nintendo games on a RetroPie, and you can go nuts. This is a feature that not even, current emulators have. I wouldn't be surprised come the release of the SNES Classic if some emulators have it, or very shortly after, we even see it on the RetroPie. But, so check this out. If you haven't seen this yet, dude dies. You can back it up to a point just before you don't die and finish the dude off. Now, that's going to have some super awesome implications when it comes to, say, you're playing an RPG and you die and you just rewind to just before the boss fight. Or, heck, I'm thinking Pokemon here because, again, I was a Game Boy kid. Say you get that random encounter and it just wipes you. You could just back up to just before that random encounter. Hey, I needed to make sure I healed my Pokemon or something. Heal them up. Do something like that. Or, hey, I didn't, I'm trying to make this really hard jump in Super Mario World. There's a couple of those. Just keep trying it. Keep trying. I know it's going to be a pain in the ass to get to the feature, but that's not the only real reason why they think this is really cool. I think this is really cool for people who are on YouTube and stuff or like to show off clips. Say you did something just friggin' cool. Why not back up, record that, and put that out to the world? I think the next version or this feature should come to the Virtual Console on the Switch, right? And now let's think about it. There's going to be eventually down the road, if you press this button, it's going to capture video, hopefully. That's the rumor, that's the hope. Right now, just a screenshots. Let's imagine now that you're able to record 20-second clips. Let's say that this feature exists on the Switch, and you record a 20-second clip of you being a badass, and then post that to YouTube or Facebook. How cool would that be? I think the implications of this feature, we haven't even explored them yet. I think it's going to be, yes, it's going to help you go back and beat those tough parts, or, fix a mistake that you made while playing your game. It will even help. It'll totally help those speedrunners, fine tune that one move, even though they made the jump, they're going to want to back up and practice it and practice it and practice it. I think it's a great, great feature. But there's other implications, I think, like showing off or, simply just watching your gameplay. I think there's a limit on how long you can go back. Like there's only about 40 or 60 seconds saved, but I still think it's a really, really cool feature. Now, I've rambled enough. Let's keep going to the video here.
Pick a frame that fits your
style. This just makes me think of the Super Game Boy, because you can have all kinds of cool frames and change. So it hits me right in the heart.
Anywhere.
Save states.
Spend points.
Giddy up. Something that needed to happen. It was on the original. They need to do it. I think that's what sells this to people.
Experience super effects technology.
Now, listing this as a feature, I guess my question is, do these games play better?
Never before.
Do these games play better on the SNES Classic than they do on a regular emulator? Because our computers are strong enough, and that the Super FX chip was kind of built into the ROM. I'm curious.
Released. Star Fox.
Boom! Fantastic feature. Like, I think this alone, the 20 other games, fantastic for the price. But to add in Star Fox 2, a game that was never previously released, I think is one of two things. Amazing. Giddy up, keep going, but it's also might turn out to be detrimental to Nintendo. Just looking down the road, how do they top this? They've bettered the NES. Sorry, I keep looking over at my NES Classic because I'm thinking about it. They've bettered this system over the NES Classic, not only because all they had to do was release it with the Super Nintendo games, and they've made it better, but they've gone even further with these backup save states, with the reverse rewind, whatever you want to call it, plus a never-before-released game. Let's just say, whatever the next the next Classic Edition is going to be it a Game Boy, be it, the N64, with the N64, we could maybe get a Mother game. I guess with the Game Boy one, we could get Mother 3 if there was a Game Boy Advance Classic or something. But how many games are out there that are Nintendo licensed that were never released? I can't imagine there's a whole bunch of them that are complete in the same way that Star Fox 2 is, because I've been reading things lately. Star Fox 2 was basically done in the 90s, and even the translations were done in the 90s. This game's just been sitting around in the archive for how long?
2 controllers.
How are you going to better that? 2 controllers, another amazing feature that tops the NES Classic. How pain in the butt was it with the NES Classic? You buy one, there's a handful of 2-player games. You wanted to play those games, but you're kind of tough out of luck because I think it was hard to get my hands on the NES Classic. It was impossible to get my hands on an NES Classic second controller. Yes, there's totally ways you can get third-party controllers, and that's probably the way to go. 8BitO is probably the way I would do it, with the exception of having the reset button to, do your save states and stuff. I think this is just a fantastic thing because the original console came with 2 controllers. Why not pack it into this?
One sweet.
And notice the best part right there? Purple buttons. Concave top buttons.
Now you're playing with power.
Can I just say one more thing? This guy's voiceover was terrible. And I'm not going to say it's the voice artist that was terrible. He's trying to emulate something that happened back then. And the whole I don't give a crap kind of voiceover doesn't work anymore. But it's nostalgic to the original. And this video completely nostalgic to that era. Okay, that's my thoughts on the SNES Classic. What do you guys think? Pop them in the comments down below and let's start a discussion. I'm not going to be as frequent with my videos right now. Hopefully in a month or so, I'm going to have my things under control and I'll be back doing almost at least weekly videos. Hope this video has been entertaining for you. Hope you've learned something and hopefully this is going to make you a smarter gamer.